probably wonder why I'm seated on the floor. Well, it's because I don't have a setup yet. But that's not why I'm here. The basic reason why I'm doing this video of starting this trend is because I just discovered I have ADHD and autism. But people who know me will probably won't feel shocked because they've always said I was weird or like different. Sometimes not in a good way, and sometimes in a good way. So I decided, now that I know my diagnosis, I think I feel kind of relief that I do know where this is all coming from. And now it's time for me to know how to tackle life or how to move from here. So I'm going to be documenting my entire journey from now discovering that I have ADHD and autism. And I'm going to find a way to navigate this newfound diagnosis or newfound discovery. And I want to document it so I can know how I'm progressing over the years. Most of the symptoms I do have now is like ADHD. I tend to not pay attention to things I don't like. If I'm in a class where I probably already studied the course prior to the time, or I'm least not interested in the subject or the teacher per se, I might be doing something else, probably be discussing with someone at the back or making some certain type of noise. Altogether, I just don't pay attention to the person. Or if it's a one-on-one discussion where the person is in front of me and I'm trying to pay attention and I just can't, my mind is probably going to something crazy or probably what I'm going to do next after the discussion or something interesting that came up earlier. I'll probably be thinking of that. So that kind of disturbed me because a lot of time you have to pay attention to classroom or people who are speaking to you or stuff that you have to do on your day-to-day activities. And I think that has been a problem. But not so much because I've learned to figure things out as I grow older. But it is a problem in general. And another thing I noticed is, because I've never really thought about autism that much. Because at one time I read about the autism symptoms and I never felt like me entirely, so I never thought about having autism. But I had to go back again and reevaluate myself and discover that, I do have autism. Because for someone who is spontaneous, I like to plan, religiously plan. Sometimes I spend some time crafting what I'm going to do. I mind map of what I'm going to do to pass a test. I would plan a lot of hours. At the end of the day, I don't follow through. I have tons of scripted ideas or plans that I'm supposed to follow through. But unfortunately, I don't. So I guess this is why now. Something else I do is I might not understand social cues. I'll sometimes say everything that comes in my head. And this has gotten me in trouble several times, not gonna lie, on several occasions I've gotten into trouble for saying how I really feel. And I feel everyone should do that. I feel everyone does that. You probably have to I know sometimes you shouldn't, but sometimes it's kind of things I do and I feel other people would do to discover that they don't. I have a high sense of justice. Yeah. I tend to if you give me an order do XYZ, I'm literally gonna do XYZ. I'm not gonna do A, B, C attached to XYZ. I'm just literally gonna do what you say I should do. And people will be I remember my mom asking, if my mom asked me to wash dishes, I just literally go wash the dishes. But what she wanted me to do is clean up the entire kitchen, which I'm not gonna do. And I think something, when it comes to chores or taking care of the tiny things in the house, people with ADHD or ADHD and autism don't do well because reading me why I would go to my friend's house and then I would help them tidy their house, but I can't tidy mine. My room right now, if you still look around, is chaos. I got clothes everywhere, clothes on couch, got clothes in my bed. I just sing. But if a friend of mine would call like, hey Kelvin, I'm coming over, I'm gonna pull up. I don't know, for all of a sudden I get like this grip of reality of this superpower that I can fix my entire room in 10 minutes. It's gonna be sparkling clean. Not entirely clean because the closet is gonna be a mess. But at least I could do like damage control. And I think when you're living in the edge, you're always on damage control. I get things done when it's the last minute. If it's an exam, the last minute. If it's the presentation, the last minute. Whatever work I've got to do, it's just give me a deadline, and then that is when I fix. And I think the reason why I keep doing this, keeping on this circle, what I used to think is because I function better that way. If a presentation is due tomorrow, I just hyper focus, and then I like put myself all in, and then I do better. Probably not 100%, but 70%, 80%, I come up with a good result. And I think it keeps me in the same cycle. But what I notice is, the key to that I notice is, if I have like a paper due or presentation on Monday, the next week, this very week, I might just like look at the material and be like, ugh. I keep coming up with ideas and then bouncing back ideas if they're good or not. But I don't entirely like commit to an idea. So the entire time I'm thinking about the material, the presentation, I'm brainstorming ideas, how it's gonna work. In my head, I'm gonna like synchronize the step. So far, I think I'm doing great, but I think I could be doing better. I have learned to mark so well that people think I'm like living like regular people, right? It's crazy. But sometimes you know deep down that you have like a problem, that you can't seem to focus like everyone, you can't seem to get things done just like everyone. And I know I'm trying to take this step so I can become a better version of myself and give myself accountable, because people out there are watching me make this big move, living my life every day. It's gonna be like a different ballgame. And I do want a community where people can come together. People from Nigeria, I'm from Nigeria. People can come together and talk about how they've experienced having autism, having ADHD, and how we can, like, as a community, like, move further. Now, ADHD can be on its own be a big deal, can be hard to exist with. Now, autism too has its own peg, which they both have like strong characteristic traits. ADHD stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder, and funny enough, it happened to like 20% of the public, which it doesn't usually get talked about, especially in this part of the world, which I think it should be talked about more. But I think we're more advancing into where people now know that they have a disorder, they have ADHD, they have autism. So I know people get diagnosed when they are younger, when they're in school, by their guidance counselors or something. I never got that. I literally had to like find myself. So it's different. But I think these days people got diagnosed in schools, and I wish we could talk about this more as a society. Talk about how people are different and how to treat people, and how to like everyone can be individually like unique, and then we can all celebrate each other. I want to see a system or a country or world where everybody are individually like encouraged, or their uniqueness could stand out. And I think like trying to survive in this fast-paced social media time can be very difficult, because I could literally get sucked into my phone and scroll through, because I'm trying not to, not because I'm lazy, not because I don't want to do the work, because I can't find the dopamine to stick to my phone and then go back to my work, because me trying to avoid doing the work because of overthinking and it makes me stick more on social media. So, and social media could generate the dopamine your brain needs to stay active. In that, I still think sometimes when I spend a lot of time on social media, I selectively choose what's on my FYP page. So it can be educative for me. I learn a lot on social media. But there have to be a balance. I need to find a balance between learning and soaking myself in on it. And people who have ADHD or autism or both can get sometimes depressed and have anxiety. I suffer from anxiety myself. Now, like I think I might or a little bit, but I suffer from anxiety. I get anxious when I'm worried about things. I remember a situation where we were supposed to turn up an assignment and it was past the deadline. And I was freaking out. And my friend was like, whoa, why are you freaking out, bro? You know we can still go talk to the lecturer. And I freak out a lot when things are not going my way. And at the same time, when it comes to a situation where people would freak out, I don't. I'm like so chill. When it comes to like a life-threatening situation, I am chill. I think those kind of situations put me in a place where I have like dopamine rush. I'm usually chill. But at the same time, some situations I freak out. I get anxious a lot. And that's crazy, I don't know. When it comes to communicating to people, I think I have good people skills, or at least I think so. But I have situations where I don't rightly agree with people's ideas. The general time when I'm around people and they're bringing up their idea or their way of thinking or their ideology, I don't buy into it. I'm like, no, what if? What if? I'm always a what if kind of person, and that gets me in trouble a lot. Right in school, in a organization with other people. I'm a what if kind of guy, and that because people don't like what if. Some people just like to take the orders from the boss, from the higher position, and then they roll with it. I don't. I'm like asking, why are we doing this? What if we do this? So people do not want you to question. Some people don't want you to question authority. Why? I can't help myself. I can't do something if I don't know why I'm doing it. Why there's a why I should do X, Y, Z. So it's hard for me to just like nod, yes sir, and then straight through. So I question authority a lot, and it can be problematic. It's gotten me into trouble several times. I don't know if this is a ADHD thing or autism thing, but if I have like a strong belief system or something, I'm probably gonna fight for it like a lot. And I must say ENFP. I'm an ENFP personality type 2. And I think it can, I don't know, because I've seen other ENFPs do well in life. I've seen my peers, my friends who are ENFP like do well. So I'm like, I might not be on the same level with them. But sometimes I think the ADHD or autism could make you grow less. I also find myself hanging around kids younger than my age. So I think I enjoy that company. Come to find out, the ADHD brain doesn't grow as like the regular neurotypical brains grow. When I'm 18, as an individual, as an ADHD person, I am probably like 2 years younger. I'm 15, and it explains a lot why my mates were going out to have girlfriends. The rest, I wasn't really thinking about that stuff. I was like obsessed with something else. I was still wanted to play, so I did hit puberty physically, but not mentally. I was still a kid, and now in my 20s, I still feel young. I still act younger than my age. So it's something I think happens to people with ADHD or autism too. What else? What else am I missing? There are a lot of things. This is just my experience so far. And I think if you know someone who has ADHD or autism or both, and you know the symptoms, you can put it on the comment section and we can all talk about it. The next video I can talk about it. I'm just basically gonna like align all my experience with life as an individual. And I think people have more experience. I'm still gonna unravel some experiences too. Yeah. Next time I might talk about scheming, I might talk about behavioral patterns, how we see patterns. Catch you. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Peace. This is Scrabble Brain, Kelvin. Catch you on the next video.